the floor.
Well, thanks very much, President John Adams. My name's Bill O'Donnell, and as Register of Deeds, I'd like to welcome you to this rededication of the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds building. The Madrigals of Norwood have been entertaining you, and a big thank you to Kathy Moen and Jennifer Hartnett of the Norwood High School Fine Arts Department, and of course these great young people from Norwood High School. So could we all just please stand, because they're going to sing the national anthem for us. Thank you.
The dawn's early light, at the twilight's last gleaming,
whose bright stripes and bright stars
through the perilous fight were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much. You know, there was a push in the 1800s to have a separate Norfolk County Registry of Deeds building because the county population was increasing and there was increased real estate transactions. And the deed that was recorded here in 1889 was for $17,198. So this whole site was purchased for that amount. This building was constructed in 1903. It opened on September 1st, 1905, and it's the fourth location where the Registry of Deeds records are kept. And I always say, many of us have children. I have 3 children. One of my sons is here today. And you know we'd do anything for them. The first Register of Deeds, he was waiting for the building to be built, the county courthouse. He kept the registry records for 3 years at his dad's house. So as parents, even back in the 1700s, they were taking care of their kids. And again, that's some of the history of this place and some of the history you see around. But you know, there's been a number of improvements, and I have some people to thank. I want to thank elected officials for coming. We have John Buckley and Kate Toomey. Kate's the register in Worcester County. John Buckley's the register down in Plymouth. Dave Hajar, Norwood Selectman. And of course, Joe Shea, County Commissioner. The county supports us here at the registry and helps us do things like get this building done. The improvements that took place, they took place between 2018 and 2019. I want to thank the architect, CGKV Architects and New England Builder Contractors, and of course the county administration and county advisory board for making it all happen. You know, the rededication of this building really reflects the commitment to preserve this historic building. It was built in 1903 by the citizens of Norfolk County, and I hope this makes us reflect on the history we have in Norfolk County. It was also a way to launch our second book. We have a notable records book, a volume 2. Please take it on the way out. The records that are here at the registry, they go back to 1793, come alive when you read some of the storyboards. And we just have some remarkable people that have lived here in the County of Presidents. 4 United States presidents were born here in Norfolk County. So I hope you enjoy the storyboards that are around the building. I hope you enjoy the book that we put together. In conclusion, what I want to make real clear is that the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds is more than just a beautiful building. What makes this building special the employees who come here each and every day that makes this, notwithstanding my colleagues, other registries, makes this the best registry of deeds in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and I want to thank the employees for all the work they do here every day. Thank you very much. Pulling an event together like this, I want to thank Kristen Soroy, Claire Lombard, Rich Kennedy, Marguerite Lee, Bob Glenn, Rich Serrani, Alicia Gardner, Kathleen Palmer, and Helen Corbin for pulling the event together. I want to thank my senior staff in my IT department. They met every week with the contractors and the architects to make sure this building came out well. And a special thank you to President John Adams, the second President of the United States, who is greeting everyone here today. President Adams is played by our own Registry of Deeds employee, Land Court employee, Mike LePage. Big hand for Mike. Thank you. And what better way to end this event, or at least the speaking portion, than with them singing a song that means a lot to me and my Irish heritage, and I hope you enjoy it. And I turn it over to them. And again, a big hand for the Madrigals for coming. Thank you.
May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rays fall soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, and until we meet again, may the God who loves us all hold you in the palm of his hand.
My name's Bill O'Donnell. We're here at the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds. We just had a rededication celebration. This building was built in 1903, and one of our guests today, greeting people at the door and handing people our book on the various notable land records, is President John Adams.
Sir?
President John Adams, welcome.
My pleasure, sir.
What are some of your thoughts about Norfolk County from your perspective?
Well, it pleases me that at this time that not only have I now live in Quincy as opposed to Braintree, but we now have a new county, as of my time, that I believe will flourish. And not just because my town is in it, but because all of the surrounding towns will profit very much from our new government and our new economy, though I, truth be told, do not wish to give Secretary Hamilton too much credit for all of that. It is a great day of celebration of Republican representative government. And where better could it be displayed than here, with free trade?
Well, President Adams, I hate to tell you, but Hamilton actually has a big play now. There's a big play going on.
Oh, dear.
But we're working to get you a statue down in Washington, D.C. And what many people don't realize is that you were the father of the Massachusetts Constitution, which
Yes.
was later used as a framework for our federal government. Can you tell people out there what your role was in that?
I would be delighted to. I had returned from a not so fortunate trip to France to aid Dr. Franklin to bring the French in to the war for independence, and unfortunately Dr. Franklin did it without my being even necessary. What better work than to come home after that trip and to be put to work doing what I do best, writing on government, which I had done before we declared our independence with my pamphlet, Thoughts on Government. All of the ideas of the government we have today came from Thoughts on Government, and I could finally put pen to paper that year of 1779, and I could draft a representative constitution for all in Massachusetts, including one of the most important tasks for all of us, and that is the education of our children.
Well, and that's one of the things we're doing here at the registry. We try to do it every day, educate people that come in about how to protect their homes. But to tie in, this county, Norfolk County, was established in 1793. Governor John Hancock, one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, signed the law creating Norfolk County. And one of the persons we selected as one of the, there's many remarkable people that lived in Norfolk County, but is Dorothy Quincy. She was the First Lady of Massachusetts and an American patriot, and she was married to John Hancock. You knew them. How was things living in Quincy or Braintree, depending on your
Indeed.
perspective?
Well, he was a fine governor, Mr. Hancock, and of course, I remember him best from those days as governor when we arrived home, finally after the second trip from Europe, Mrs. Adams and myself, and all of our baggage, and what we'd accumulated in France. He was there to greet us, and by carriage took us to Beacon Hill, and we were wined and dined, and of course we had to wait to move into our new home. And of course, even before that, as president of the Continental Congress, he was the president. And of course, he, a man of Massachusetts, was very, very much for independence. And he voted right along with us when the motion for independence was finally passed.
Well, President Adams, you're revered in Quincy. Your house has actually become a national historic place. There's a national park there where it's anyone who hasn't been there, I have. I just enjoy walking around the grounds and the library. And for those who want to come down on the Registry of Deeds, we actually have the deed from President John Adams to his son, John Quincy Adams, who was the 6th President of the United States. And Norfolk County is known as the County of Presidents because 4 presidents were born here. We have President John Adams, we have his son John Quincy Adams, we have President John F. Kennedy was born in Brookline, and a lot of people don't realize George Herbert Walker Bush was born in Milton. So it's really remarkable that 4 presidents of the United States were born here. And again, these storyboards, we pick different and interesting people, and we have a book about them that live here in Norfolk County. So there's a lot of history in our records, and we try to make the history come alive, the history of your time, and you'll know you provided a great foundation
thank
for
you.
a great country.
You're most kind. I think you have a future in Congress, or you're a most eloquent speaker.
Being kind. All right. Thank you very much. And thanks to Quincy Cable and Quincy Community Access for covering this. They are a great partner with the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds. A big tip of the hat to Mark Crosby, and thanks so much.